Thank you so kindly, sir. I have to remember to just call you Dennis, because I want to call you.
You call me Mr. G.
Mr. G. So how's everyone doing this morning?
Yes. Great.
Good. When I was talking with Dennis a few weeks ago, I was on baby alert. My wife and I, we just had our third child, first baby girl, so we were excited about that. But I was like, I hope this date works, because I don't know when she's coming. All our kids come early, but you know, each child is different. So help me understand what you guys have been talking about. So I am a facilitator and a trainer, I guess by nature. This is what I do all the time. I speak to over 2,000 people a year, some in training, some in coaching, and some as a keynote speaker. So what have you guys already learned or heard about in the business communication side of this class? I'm sorry putting you on the spot, but it's kind of intense, right?
You said on the business communication side
Yeah,
of it?
this is the business communication class, right?
Well, yeah, just basically as being a leader on how you communicate with certain people, how you, I guess how you interact with
Okay.
people, just, I guess it's being a leader, basically.
Okay.
Proper methods of communication too, not speaking about things, adding the right information, proper emails, proper channels to reach other people, especially in larger businesses where face-to-face conversation may not be the most ideal way to communicate. So learning how to utilize social media, learning how to utilize any kind of access to communications instead of meetings, things of that nature. Learn proper ways to do that. And of course, we've also learned how not to burn people and burn bridges. in the
Yeah.
process of that.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah.
Actually, as they said, the leadership should be done by its, how you're being taught, your personality, make awareness of your judgment, and not to be, kind of like stuck up on something that you're trying to achieve for yourself, but make sure that it is done with, incorporate everybody is a winner.
Right, right. So I love that piece right there. I'm gonna try to be pretty cognizant of the time, about 15 minutes, and then I'll just open up any questions that you have for me. So I'm gonna use the composite of the information that you guys just said and work off of it, because for me, I prepared for talking about social media, the business communication through social media, as well as persuasion, because I believe they work well together, and it's harder to do when you're not in person. So I think you're talking about when you're not in front of people. So I sat in a room just yesterday in a Fortune 500 company, global organization, sat in there, and before I got started with my meeting, the person told me that's not what we wanted. I was like, wow, thanks. I put this much time into this right now, but because the communication didn't come through in the right process to get to me so I could provide them, time was lost, money was lost, effort was lost, and to be honest, we have to figure out what do we do next, right? So we spent a lot of time on social media. Let's think through this. We have 7 seconds. You have 7 seconds. Anybody think about starting a business or working where they're going to be using social media for something like that? You got 7 seconds. That's it. So if you were writing notes down right now, by the time you wrote that statement down, your time is up. If you are not making an impression, then in that 7 seconds, people move on. Yes?
About the attention span, right?
Yeah, attention span, right? We got attention span less than a goldfish. It's proven, right? So while we are trying to get a message across, the people that you're trying to get it to are still scrolling. They're still scrolling. They're still driving. They're doing whatever it is. So if you don't catch them in 7 seconds, because it's between 6 and 8 seconds that we have, they're gone. So we have to be very innovative. Just think about this. As a human, an adult human being, we make 35,000 decisions a day, which roughly comes out to about 1.2 decisions every second. So every second you're making a decision. Like right now, you're sitting there trying to figure out, do I need to listen to this guy? Does it make sense for me to listen to him? Right? I got to connect with you, otherwise you zoned out. All right? So when you are in the place of trying to figure out how do I get my message across, you don't have to figure out how would I like to hear it only. To your point, what's your name, sir? James said you got to figure out what the other person's thinking about. That's why you have to figure out who your ideal customer is. Your target market is. Because when you do that, then you speak like them, you learn and do other things like them. Okay, so that's understanding. So let's talk about what kind of questions are coming in the mind of an individual. All right, so you throw out some. Throw out some questions that somebody is asking when they're trying to process if they want to stay connected with you.
What do you have to offer me?
What do you have to offer me? What else?
Why should I listen to you?
Why should I listen to you? Anybody else?
What makes you better than the rest?
What makes you better than the rest? Anybody else? I don't want to leave you out.
What is your agenda?
What's my agenda? Yes. What is your agenda? All right?
How much?
How much? Right. Why am I sitting here trying to gauge this if it's not going to be budgetarily efficient and effective for what I'm trying to go for and do? All right? So because of that, let me break down what they're actually saying. So what is it about? I think someone said that. Am I interested? There's just certain things I'm not interested in. I've had a shift in mindset, philosophy over the past few years. Certain things don't hit me in the same spot they used to. I used to be sitting there scrolling just to be scrolling, laughing just to be laughing. I'm business minded now. There's certain things that just don't hit me anymore. So, all right, am I interested? All right. What's next? When you are building your websites, connected to your social media, you need to architect where you bring them from the front door all the way to get them to the sale. If you're not thinking that way, it's going to be hard for you to get your customers to come through. All right? So I need you to understand that when a person